You know, I wasted everyone's money, I wasted everyone's everything, and I feel bad. You don't think I feel bad?
And when you're a teenager, priorities change.
Whore Island is my personal favorite.
So I just watched Inside Out 2, and honestly, it was pretty good. This is supposed to be Pixar's saving grace, because they've been doing horrible financially, but I can't see this movie working out for them. Too bad it'll probably be the last great movie they'll make in a while. Please watch this video. Let's summarize the plot without spoiling it. Inside Out 2 is very similar to the first movie, but the huge difference here is that anxiety and the new emotions envy, embarrassment, and ennui, I don't even know if I said that right, boredom basically, are taking over Riley's mind while she's getting ready for a high school hockey team. And they kick out the OG emotions out of the headquarters because they think they're not needed anymore. In the new emotions control, she's becoming different, and the gang, the OG emotions, goes on an adventure to stop it. That's all I have to say. Go watch the movie. I'm trying not to spoil, please. Well, that's enough about the emotions. What about Riley? Well, she's becoming a high school freshman, but before she goes to school, she goes to her hockey tryouts. And making this team is very difficult because you need to be the best. And she's going through a lot of shit during this movie. And trust me when I tell you, as someone who went through something similar to this experience back in high school, I think they did it very well. All the scenes felt natural. There was nothing that felt very odd or forced in my opinion. I think they depicted this shit perfectly. Let's list some positives of this movie. I think the movie's pretty funny. It's not as funny as the first one, but I still think it's enjoyable. And I wonder if Young Yale would ever be able to redeem himself with this role, because the shit he did prior was pretty terrible.
We're breaking the law, breaking the world together.
Some scenes are hard to watch, but rightfully so, since they're supposed to make you feel embarrassed and shit. I also like that the whole OG Emotions crew are on the adventure this time instead of just two of them. Like, I really do like joy and sadness, but having fear, disgust, and anger on it too, like, I think that's pretty great. I love these characters, you know? Okay, that's enough glazing. Let's get to the negatives. Sorry to say this, Inside Out 2, but you're just not one. You're not him. I'm not afraid to admit it. You'll never be a classic.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Where Inside Out 1 next to is the creativity. Think about all the crazy shit you saw in Inside Out 1. Imagination Land, Bing Bong, the thinking tunnel thing. There's so much to remember just from the top of my head. While Inside Out 2 barely has anything that could compare. Like there's some cool stuff in here, but it just does not compare to the first one. And not only that, but Inside Out 1 had way better stakes. Like, Riley had to move away from her hometown. She had to get used to a new environment. And with joy and sadness gone, anger and fear and disgust were the only ones to control Riley, and she ends up trying to go home because of them. Like, that shit was crazy, dude. While Inside Out 2, it doesn't really make you feel super worried like that. Like, it's just about her trying to make a hockey team. While I did like Inside Out 2's plot and I was engaged, I could just see it is obvious that Inside Out 1 is way better. Just better stakes. It's going to be remembered as a classic. It pulled almost everyone's heartstrings, while Inside Out 2, I don't think it's going to have the same effect at all. Overall, Inside Out 2 is a pretty good movie. It's definitely worth watching in the theater, but it's definitely not a classic Pixar movie like the first one was. If you're becoming a high schooler soon though, I encourage you to watch it because you might deeply appreciate the message it has for you. But do you know what is a classic movie? Probably the most underrated Pixar movie of all time? Soul. That movie is probably going to stay as the best Pixar movie of this 2020 decade, so go watch it now on Disney+. It is genuinely such a great movie. I think Soul was more emotional and probably just a better movie overall compared to Inside Out 2. Like, you gotta see it, please. I'm gonna change the rating system, by the way. No more peak or decent type shit. I just think Letterboxd star ratings is going to be the best way to rate movies from now on this channel. So I give Inside Out 2 4 stars and a Roger Ebert thumbs up.
Why does Ebert think so highly of Space Jam? Look at this nigga. You think he could just grab Space Jam Jordans and hit the hoops? No way. No fucking way. If you have glasses, you can't be a baller. I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching and see you next time.